सो व्हाट इज इको टूरिज्म? इको टूरिज्म क्या होता है? तो इको टूरिज्म यानी जो टूरिज्म यानी when we go to travel, the true tourism is basically friendly for the environment. It is sustainable. तो जहाँ पे वो जो जगह होती है जहाँ पे लोग जाते हैं खाने पीने के लिए, घूमने के लिए, वो जगह बिगड़ती नहीं है, लोग उसको अच्छे से यूज करते हैं और उसे बचा के रखते हैं. दैट इज इको टूरिज्म. सो सस्टेनेबल टूरिज्म इज इक्वल टू इको टूरिज्म. तो पहले हम थोड़े रफ मीनिंग देखेंगे, then we'll be matching it. Accommodation means रहने की जगह. Avoid એટલે ટાળવું, avoid કરવું. Barrier અવરોધક, જે વસ્તુ રસ્તામાં નડે આપણને, that is a barrier. Category એટલે વર્ગ, કયા વર્ગમાં આવે, ગ્રુપમાં આવે, that is a category. Concept is an idea. Culprit એટલે ગુનેગાર. કલ્પ્રિટ અથવા કોઈ બી વસ્તુ કરવા પાછળ જે પણ વ્યક્તિનો હાથ હોય, जो चीज के लिए दोषी है, वो है कल्प्रिट. डेलिकेट એટલે નાજુક. डेस्टिनेशन જવાનો સ્થળ, પહોંચવાનો સ્થળ, that is destination. ડમ્પ એટલે ખાલવી જવું, કચરો નાખી જવું, એને કહેવાય ડમ્પ. ઇન્જ્યોર એટલે ઘાયલ કરવું. પ્લેઝર means જેમાંથી તમને આનંદ મળે, that is pleasure. પ્રેક્ટિસના બે મીનિંગ થાય. એક તો પ્રેક્ટિસ એટલે આપણે રેગ્યુલર પ્રેક્ટિસ કરીએ, અને બીજું પ્રેક્ટિસનું મીનિંગ થાય કશે પણ જે ફોલો થતી પ્રથા હોય, જે લોકો ફોલો કરતા હોય, that is a practice. કે અમારા પરિવારમાં એક આવું કરવાની પ્રથા છે, that is a practice. નેક્સ્ટ પ્રિન્સિપલ એટલે સિદ્ધાંત. જે માણસના સિદ્ધાંત હોય ને, ઉસૂલ હોય, જીવનના ઉસૂલ, એને કહેવાય પ્રિન્સિપલ. પછી છે પબ્લિસિટી, જે પબ્લિસિટી મળે લોકોની સામે, that is publicity. રિસાયકલિંગ, જે આપણે વસ્તુને કચરામાં નહીં નાખીને એને રિસાયકલ કરીએ કે ફરીથી યુઝ કરાય, that is recycling. રિમોટ એટલે એકદમ દૂર, જે નજીક નહીં હોય, દૂર હોય, ડિસ્કનેક્ટેડ, that is remote. સ્ટ્રાઇવ એટલે બહુ મહેનત કરવી, જ્યારે તમે બહુ વધારે પડતો પ્રયાસ કરો, મહેનત કરો, એને કહેવાય સ્ટ્રાઇવ. નેક્સ્ટ ઇઝ વોલન્ટિયર એટલે જે સામેથી સેવા કરે, સ્વયંસેવક, that is a volunteer. બીજું, જ્યારે તમે સામેથી કંઈ કરવાનું કહો, that is also a volunteer. પછી છે વેરી means જ્યારે આપણે કઈ વસ્તુથી એકદમ એલર્ટ રહીએ, આપણે કોઈ પર ટ્રસ્ટ નહીં કરીએ, યુ આર બીઇંગ વેરી. અને નેક્સ્ટ ઇઝ વિલ્ડરનેસ એટલે જંગલ, જે જ્યાં માણસો નહીં રહેતા હોય, that is a wilderness. So these are the 20 words. હવે આ 20 words ને આપણે યુઝ કરવાના. Look at the first word. We'll match the words with the correct definitions. Right? You guys have to tell me what is the correct answer. Here is the arrow. Accommodation. Tell me what is the correct answer for accommodation.
L.
Very good. A place to stay, such as a hotel, is called accommodation. Avoid. What is avoid? Avoid means, anyone? Avoid is to prevent from happening, stay away from. કોઈથી વસ્તુથી દૂર રહેવું, એને કહેવાય avoid. Barrier, અવરોધક, क्या આવશે? Separate, something that blocks or separates is a barrier. Next one, category. What is a category? A group of things that have something in common. Next is concept. What is a concept? An idea. Culprit, doshi. Culprit is guilty party or origin of a problem. Okay, he is the culprit. A problem આનાથી ચાલુ થયું છે. That person is the culprit. Delicate is easily hurt or easily broken. That is very delicate. Destination is G. A place somebody or something is going to. That is the destination. Dump એટલે ખલવું means get rid of garbage and trash. That is dump, like a garbage dumpster. And injure is to hurt someone, that is injure. Next one, pleasure. Pleasure is enjoyment. Practice, કઈ વસ્તુ કરવાની જે પ્રથા એને શું કહેવાય? Custom or method of doing it, this practice. Next, principle. Principle is rule, basic idea behind a system is principle. Next, publicity. Publicity is activity that makes something known to the public, that is publicity. Chalo, tell me, recycling, so answer.
P.
Correct. Collection and treatment of trash off for reuse, that is recycling. Remote. Remote means far away, that is called remote. Strive, wo mehnat karvi. J. To work very hard to do something, that is we strive for it. Volunteer. To work for no pay, freely offer to do something, seva kare, that is called volunteer. And very. Very is not completely trusting. Very means आप किसी से बच के रहते हो, alert रहते हो, that is very. Easily किसी का भरोसा नहीं करते हो. And wilderness. Wilderness is F. Natural region away from towns and cities. Jungle, that is natural region, is called wilderness. Okay. So let's start our reading passage for today. What is ecotourism? So to read it, I'm going to ask the first person to read it. So Kunal, you have to read the first paragraph.
Sure. The concept of ecotourism has been gaining publicity over the past couple of decades. It or say out of the green movement, a growing interest is developing practice in all aspects of daily life that preserve rather than injure the nature environment. Ecotourism strive to have minimal impact on the places they visit in terms of both the local ecology and the local culture. Some followers take the concept even further and define ecotourism as travel that aims that only to avoid harming the environment, but also to take a positive contribution to the local ecology and culture.
So the concept of ecotourism, यानी ये जो idea है, ecotourism का idea है, has been gaining publicity over the past couple of decades. पिछले कुछ सालों में ये बात ने बहुत लोगों के अंदर पॉपुलैरिटी क्रिएट की है, यानी पीपल लाइक दिस आइडिया. इट अरोज आउट ऑफ द ग्रीन मूवमेंट. ग्रीन मूवमेंट का क्या मीनिंग हुआ? जो पर्यावरण को बचाता है. उस मूवमेंट से ये स्टार्ट हुआ. अ ग्रोइंग इंटरेस्ट इन डेवलपिंग प्रैक्टिसेस, ऐसी प्रथाएं चालू करना इन ऑल एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ डेली लाइफ. हमारे लाइफ में हम हर हिस्से में, हमारे जीवन के हर हिस्से में ऐसा कुछ करें दैट प्रिजर्व रादर देन इंजर द नेचुरल एनवायरनमेंट. कि हम कुछ भी करें, फिर हम ट्रैवल करें या कुछ खाना खाएं या कुछ भी करें, तो जिससे पर्यावरण का नुकसान नहीं हो, उसको बोलते हैं ग्रीन मूवमेंट. और उसमें से लोगों ने नई चीज बनाई, दैट इज इको टूरिज्म. सो इको टूरिस्ट जो लोग होते हैं, जो ऐसा करते हैं, दे स्ट्राइव टू हैव मिनिमल इम्पैक्ट ऑन द प्लेसेस दे विजिट. यानी कोई भी जगह पे जाते हैं तो बहुत एफर्ट डालते हैं कि उनके जो एक्शंस है उससे पर्यावरण को नुकसान ना हो. In terms of both the local ecology and the local culture, यानी वो वहां की नेचर को भी और वहां की संस्कृति दोनों को बचा के रखते हैं. Some followers take the concept even further, और कुछ लोग तो इस बात को, ये कॉन्सेप्ट को और आगे ले जाते हैं and define ecotourism as travel that aims not only to avoid harming the environment, कि सिर्फ environment को harm करना ही नहीं है, but also to make a positive contribution to the local ecology and culture. कि हम हमारे हिस्से से हम कुछ भला करके आए. यानी आप कहीं पे घूमने गए तो वहां पे जाके आपने कुछ प्लांटेशन किया, कुछ एनवायरनमेंट के लिए किया, क्लीनिंग किया, तो वो करते हैं. कुछ लोग ये हद तक करते हैं. Okay, let's read the next one. Shifa, can you read the next paragraph?
Yes, sir. The type of vacations that fit into category of ecotourism vary widely. Ecotourism might involve travel to nature distance such as a natural park or a natural preserve to learn about the natural environment, and it's some cases to volunteer on environment protect projects. It could be new few weeks spent with a local artisan learning how to do traditional craft tips that involve hiking or rafting through wilderness area with no regards for natural habits. One passage through would not be included in the definitions of ecotourism. Neither of course will be trips with a focus on hunting.
Aisha, you read the next one from here. She's with you, no, Shifa? Aisha?
No, sir.
अच्छा, आप अकेले ही है. Okay, okay. I thought you guys are together.
No, sir.
Okay. So the types of vacations, यानी कौन सा ऐसा वेकेशन है जो इसमें फिट होता है, that fit into the category of ecotourism very wide, यानी बहुत अलग अलग प्रकार के वेकेशंस हैं जो इस कैटेगरी में आ सकते हैं. Ecotourism might involve travel to a natural destination such as a national park. आप कोई नेशनल पार्क में चले जाओ या फिर नेचर रिजर्व to learn about the natural environment and in some cases to volunteer on environmental protection projects. वहां सिर्फ घूमने के लिए नहीं जाओ, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ सीखने के लिए और उसके ऊपर जहां आप खुद वहां पे मदद कर पाओ, ऐसा है इको टूरिज्म. It could be a few weeks spent with local artisans, वहां के लोकल लोगों के साथ रहना, learning how to do a traditional craft, वहां की वो चीज की जो वहां के लोकल बनावटी चीज है वो बनाना सीखना. ट्रिप्स दैट इन्वॉल्व हाइकिंग, ऐसी ट्रिप्स जिसमें आपको पहाड़ी पे चढ़ना है, और राफ्टिंग थ्रू विल्डरनेस एरियाज. विल्डरनेस यानी जंगल वाले एरिया में आपको ट्रैवल करना पड़े विथ नो रिगार्ड फॉर द नेचुरल हैबिटेट वन पासेस थ्रू वुड नॉट बी इंक्लूडेड इन द डेफिनेशन ऑफ इकोटूरिज्म. इस चीज को हम इकोटूरिज्म में नहीं गिनते. जैसे आप राफ्टिंग, रिवर राफ्टिंग करते हो, लेकिन वहां नेचर से पास होते हो, लेकिन नेचर की कोई मदद नहीं करते हो, दैट इज नॉट इकोटूरिज्म. Neither, of course, would be trips which focus on hunting. अगर hunting के लिए जाते हो, that is not part of ecotourism. Muskan, can you read next one?
Ecotourists often shun cruise ships because these are
wrong. From here.
okay. Ecotourists seek out accommodation that follow environmentally friendly practices such as using renewable resources and recycling. Ecotourists look for hotels and tour companies that hire mainly local staff, keeping tourist dollars within the local economy. Ecotourists might choose to join a bicycling or walking tour rather than a bus tour that adds to air pollution and allows tourists to see the local area only through a barrier of glass windows.
इको टूरिस्ट जो लोग होते हैं, जो ऐसे टूरिज्म में जाते हैं, सीक आउट एकोमोडेशंस, ऐसे रहने की जगहें ढूंढते हैं that follow environmentally friendly practices, जो पर्यावरण के लिए अच्छी प्रैक्टिसेस है, प्रथाएं है, वो फॉलो करते हैं, वहीं पे रहते हैं, such as using renewable resources and recycling. यानी ये होटल या जो भी चीज है वो रिन्यूएबल रिसोर्सेज यूज करती है, जैसे वो प्लास्टिक यूज नहीं करती है, रिसाइकलिंग करते हैं, वैसे ही जगहों को वो ढूंढते हैं रहने के लिए. इको टूरिस्ट look for hotels and tour companies, और ऐसे ही होटल और टूर कंपनी ढूंढते हैं that hire mainly local staff, वहां का लोकल स्टाफ को ही हायर करते हैं, तो ही वहां के लोगों को फायदा होता है, वहां के कल्चर को फायदा होता है. अगर हम बाहर से और पढ़े लिखे लोगों को बुलाते हैं तो लोकल लोगों का फायदा नहीं होता है, तो ये लोग उसे सपोर्ट नहीं करते. कीपिंग टूरिस्ट डॉलर्स विद इन द लोकल इकोनॉमी, टूरिस्ट का जो कमानी होता है, जो पैसा होता है, वो लोकली रहना चाहिए, यहीं पे रहना चाहिए. तो ये हिसाब वाले जो होते हैं उसको ही इको टूरिस्ट प्रेफर करते हैं. Eco tourists might choose to join a bicycling or walking tour rather than a bus tour that adds to air pollution. वो लोग क्या चॉइस करेंगे? चलना पसंद करेंगे, साइकिलिंग करना पसंद करेंगे, क्योंकि बस में पोल्यूशन ज्यादा होता है and allows tourists to see the local area only through a barrier of glass window. और आप बस में रहते तो कांच के पीछे से पूरी दुनिया को देखते हैं, तो ये लोग वो चूज नहीं करते. Ibrahim, can you read next one?
Yes, am I audible to you, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Ecotourists often shun cruise ships because these are among the biggest culprits in the tourist industry in terms of environmental pollution. Massive cruise ships release large quantities of harmful emissions into the air as well as pollute the waters they sail through with fuel from their engines. The huge numbers of passengers on the ships generate many tons of garbage and wastewater, which is often dumped into the sea. Cruise ships also cause damage to coral reefs, and other delicate ecosystems that they travel near, perhaps in part because of the growing interest in ecotourism. Some cruise companies are now making an effort to be more environmentally friendly. These efforts include recycling wastage and using fuel more efficiently. Vacation, Vacationers who are interested in ecotourism and still get pleasure from cruises can travel with cruise companies and follow these practices.
So इकोटूरिज्म क्या करते हैं? इको टूरिस्ट ऑफन शन यानी अवॉइड करते हैं, नहीं जाते या उसका बहिष्कार करते हैं क्रूज शिप. तो क्रूज शिप पे नहीं जाते. क्यों? बिकॉज दीज आर अमंग द बिगेस्ट कल्प्रिट्स. ये सबसे बड़े दोषी है इन द टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री इन टर्म्स ऑफ एनवायरमेंटल पोल्यूशन. क्या ये जो बड़ी बड़ी क्रूज लाइनर शिप्स होती है वो सबसे ज्यादा नुकसान करते हैं. कैसा नुकसान करते हैं? मैसिव क्रूज शिप्स, जो बड़ी बड़ी शिप्स होती है, रिलीज लार्ज क्वांटिटीज ऑफ हार्मफुल एमिशंस. बड़े बड़े केमिकल निकालते हैं इनटू द एयर एज वेल एज पोल्यूट द वाटर. पानी को गंदा करते हैं. दे सेल थ्रू विद फ्यूल फ्रॉम देयर इंजिन्स. इंजिन्स में से जो फ्यूल निकलता है उससे धुआं निकलता है, तो वो सब तरह से वो लोग डैमेज करते हैं. डोंट कनेक्ट द ऑडियो कनेक्ट करना जरूरी नहीं है. मत सामने. The huge number of passengers on this ship, और जितने सारे लोग होते हैं इसके शिप पे, generate many tons of garbage and wastewater. वो लोग कचरा निकालते हैं, वो सारा टॉयलेट सब पानी में ही जाता है. वेस्ट वाटर, नहाना धोना जो भी होता है वो सब अंदर ही जाता है, which is often dumped into the sea. वही उसी को वहीं पे डाला जाता है. ગુજરાતીમાં કહે આ બધું ત્યાં જ ખાલવવામાં આવે છે. Cruise ships can also cause damage to coral reefs. Coral reefs यानी जो पत्थर होते हैं, जो naturally white color के जो पत्थर होते हैं, coral reefs, and other delicate ecosystem that they travel in, जिसके पास से वो गुजरते हैं उसका नुकसान कर. Perhaps in part because of the growing interest in ecotourism, some cruise companies are now making an effort to be more environmentally friendly. तो कुछ जो बड़ी-बड़ी जो cruise companies है, वो environment के उसको ध्यान में रख के वो लोग खुद थोड़े-थोड़े efforts लेने लगे हैं. These efforts include recycling waste. तो वो लोग भी recycling करते हैं and using fuel more efficient. तो पेट्रोल को ज्यादा अच्छे से यूज कर पाए वो इसका एफर्ट करते हैं. वेकेशनर्स यानी जो घूमने वाले लोग हैं, who are interested in ecotourism, जिनको इसके अंदर इंटरेस्ट है, and still get pleasure from cruise, और जिनको क्रूज में बैठना मजा आता है, can travel with cruise companies that follow these steps. जो कंपनी इसका उपयोग करे उसके अंदर वो लोग जा सकते हैं. Megha, can you read the last para? Can you speak or not? Okay, Priyanka, can you read the last paragraph?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Because of the growing interest in ecotourism, many companies advertise themselves as ecotourism companies, especially those that offer trips to remote nature areas. The type of destination that ecotourism favors. Travelers need to be wary and do their research carefully. Not all of these companies follow the principles of ecotourism. Some are simply trying to take advantage of the current interest in this type of travel. The positive side of this, however, is that it may actually be an indication that the movement is gaining in popularity.
Because of the growing interest in ecotourism, लोगों की जो दिलचस्पी है जो बढ़ रही है, many companies advertise themselves as ecotourism companies. बहुत सारी ऐसी कंपनीज है जो खुद को ऐसा बताते हैं कि वो ecotourism companies है. स्पेशली दोज दैट ऑफर ट्रिप्स टू रिमोट नेचुरल एरियाज, जो दूर दूर तक ले जाती है, कुदरती जगहों पे ले जाती है, वेकेशन ले जाती है, वो लोग सब ऐसे ही एडवर्टाइज करते हैं। द टाइप ऑफ डेस्टिनेशन दैट इको टूरिस्ट फेवर, ऐसी जगह जहां पे इको टूरिस्ट जाना चाहते हैं। ट्रैवलर्स नीड टू बी वेरी, लेकिन ट्रैवलर्स जो है उनको बहुत चेतावनी परखनी पड़ेगी एंड डू देयर रिसर्च केयरफुली, बहुत ध्यान से देखना होगा। क्यों? बिकॉज नॉट ऑल ऑफ दीज कंपनीज फॉलो द प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ इको टूरिज्म। ये सिर्फ बोलते हैं लेकिन ये फॉलो नहीं करते। Some are simply trying to take advantage of the current interest in this type of travel. और वो लोग ऐसा इस चीज के लिए क्यों कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि उनको पता है कि लोगों का इंटरेस्ट इस चीज में है। The positive side of this, इसका फायदा ये however is that it may actually be an indication that the movement is gaining in popularity. यानी अगर ये हम देख रहे हैं कि ऐसे कई कंपनीज इको टूरिज्म की बातें कर रहे हैं या फिर वो डोम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन इसका पॉजिटिव यही है कि हमें पता चल रहा है कि भाई ये जो मूवमेंट है इको टूरिज्म वो ताकतवर हो रहा है, लोग इसको प्रेफर कर रहे हैं, इट इज इन डिमांड। सो लेट्स आंसर द क्वेश्चंस नाउ। Answer the questions about what is ecotourism, right? True, false, and not given. So first tell me, ecotourism refers only to trips made to remote wilderness destination. सिर्फ wilderness destination पे जाने वाली ट्रिप को ही हम ecotourism बोल सकते हैं। False. The answer is false. Why it is false? Anyone? It says here that डूइंग एनीथिंग जिस जहां पे आप लोकल ट्रेडिशन को फॉलो करते हैं, लोकल कल्चर को फॉलो करते हैं और वहां की जगहों को ज्यादा सस्टेनेबल बनाते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड इको टूरिज्म, राइट? नेक्स्ट वन, इको टूरिस्ट आर इंटरेस्टेड इन प्रिजर्विंग डेलिकेट नेचुरल एरियाज, जो भी डेलिकेट नेचुरल एरियाज है उसको बचाना चाहते हैं इको टूरिस्ट को। आंसर इज ट्रू।
ट्रू।
करेक्ट। इको टूरिस्ट प्रिफर लेस एक्सपेंसिव एकोमोडेशन, वो लोग सस्ती जगह ढूंढते हैं। सस्ती या महंगी? नॉट गिवन।
नॉट गिवन।
वो सिर्फ चाहते हैं कि पर्यावरण को नुकसान ना हो, उसके लिए शायद ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि वो ज्यादा खर्चा करने के लिए तैयार, बट दैट इंफॉर्मेशन इज नॉट गिवन। इको टूरिस्ट ट्राई, बहुत मेहनत करते हैं टू सपोर्ट द लोकल इकोनॉमी वेयर दे आर ट्रैवल, वो जहां पे जाते हैं वो चाहते हैं कि लोकल इकोनॉमी ही फायदे में रहे और उनका पैसा बाहर ना जाए। True. What was the word? They want the tourist dollar to stay in the local economy. Many large cruise ships injure the environment by dumping garbage in the sea. दरे में बड़ा-बड़ा कचरा डालते।
True.
True. Hunting trips can be included in the category of ecotourism. Hunting trips को उसमें काउंट करेंगे? नहीं कर पाते। False. Hunting trips are not part of it. It is written here. यहाँ पे लिखा है neither of course would be trips with a focus on hunting. They are not considered part of ecotourism. Seventh one. An ecotourism trip might include volunteering to work on local project. उस ट्रिप के अंदर ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि आपको वहां जाके लोकल प्रोजेक्ट्स जो है उसमें आप वॉलंटरीली काम करें। आंसर है ट्रू। यस, आप वहां पे जाके अपना हाथ बढ़ाए, आप वहां पे सेवा कर सकते हैं। Where is it? Here. Might involve traveling to it, learn about it, and in some cases to volunteer on environmental protection projects. वहां पे आप वहां पे जाके सेवा कर सकते हैं। Some cruise companies are changing their practices to become more environmentally friendly. कुछ क्रूज कंपनी खुद की काम करने का तरीका बदल रही है जिससे वो ज्यादा एनवायरमेंटली फ्रेंडली हो सके। वो लोग भी रिसाइकलिंग कर रहे हैं। करेक्ट? आंसर इज ट्रू। Cruise ships do not recycle paper and plastic because it is too expensive.
Not given.
Correct. Is a not given. Right? So that is the reading passage. Now with the words we have learned, we are going to do a small activity. We are going to learn about word families. तो पहले हमने देखा accommodation यानी रहने की जगह। तो accommodation क्या है? It's a noun. The accommodations on our trip were very comfortable. यानी हम जहाँ ट्रिप पे जहाँ पे रहे वो घर या रहने वाली जगह बहुत अच्छी थी। Accommodation is a common word for staying at any place. उसका verb है accommodate. Accommodate नहीं, कोई चीज को adjust करना, कोई चीज को adjust कर। It is a small hotel and can accommodate only up to about 50 guests. ये छोटी सी होटल है और वो सिर्फ 50 लोगों को accommodate कर सकती है, यानी रख सकती है. Accommodate यानी किसी को रखना. Adjective is accommodating, यानी कोई ऐसा इंसान जो कोई चीज को adjust करके रख सकता है. That is called accommodating. We found our hosts very accommodating. Accommodating એટલે બહુ helpful. જે accommodate કરે, that is accommodating. Noun avoid. Avoid and avoidance. यानी कोई चीज को avoid करना is avoidance. Example, avoidance of environmental damage is an important part of tourism. Verb is avoid. We can avoid damage. We can avoid damaging the environment if we are careful to follow certain practices. And the quality of avoiding is called avoidable. Avoidable यानी जिस चीज को हम टाल सकते हैं उसको बोलते हैं avoidable. Following certain practices makes damage to the environment avoidable. यानी अगर हम कुछ practices follow करें तो हम environment को जो नुकसान हो रहा है उसको avoid कर सकते हैं. Priyanka, please don't unmute yourself. You're making disturbance. Next is concept. Noun form of concept. Concept is what? Idea. Ecotourism is a concept that is growing in popularity. It's a concept. उसका concept का जो verb है that is conceive. Conceive यानी पैदा करना, बनाना, नया चालू करना. It is not hard to conceive of ways to protect the environment. पर्यावरण को बचाने के लिए नए-नए आइडियाज निकालना हार्ड नहीं है. Adjective है conceptual, जो बनाता है, idea, that is called conceptual. Ecotourism has gone beyond the conceptual stage. सिर्फ बनाने वाला basic stage से बहुत आगे बढ़ गया है to become something that many people have put into practice. Conceptual यानी basic, beginning, जहाँ से शुरुआत होती है. यानी ecotourism वो beginning stage से बहुत ऊपर चला गया है. Has gone beyond the conceptual stage और वो लोगों के normal practice का हिस्सा बन गया. Adverb is conceptually यानी basic stage से. Ecotourism differs conceptually from regular tourism. यानी वो concept से ही अलग है. Ecotourism regular tourism से basically अलग है. Injure, तो उसमें injury એટલે जख्म. Injury is the noun. Large cruise ships cause several types of injury to the environment. The verb is injure. कोइने घायल करो. Ecotourists do not try not to injure the environment. An adjective is injurious. We know smoking is injurious to health. Injurious is हानिकारक. Some practices such as anchoring large cruise ships close to coral reefs are injurious to the environment. वो खराब है. यानी बड़ी-बड़ी ships जब बड़े-बड़े anchor जो है वो पानी में डालती है तो नीचे जो coral reef होती है वो damage होती है. Next is publicity. Publicity is a noun. The more publicity ecotourism gets, जितनी ज़्यादा publicity इनको मिलती है ecotourism को, the more people will become interested in this type of travel. तो उतना ही ज़्यादा लोगों को travel करने में, इस चीज के अंदर travel करने में interest पड़ेगा. Publicity करना is a verb that is called publicize. Many companies publicize themselves as ecotourism companies, but not all of them follow ecotourism principles. बहुत सारे ऐसे पब्लिसाइज करती है लेकिन वो एक्चुअली वो उसके रूल्स को फॉलो नहीं करती है. नेक्स्ट इज पब्लिक. इट्स एन एडजेक्टिव. पब्लिक यानी जो लोगों के लिए है या फिर ओपन है, दैट इज पब्लिक. टूर कंपनीज मेक देयर सर्विसेज पब्लिक. पब्लिक मींस ओपन फॉर पीपल. यहाँ पे पब्लिक मींस लोको नहीं, लोको माटे એને પણ કહેવાય પબ્લિક. જેમ કે લોકો માટે એને કહેવાય પબ્લિક સ્કૂલ. मींस ઘણી બધી ટૂર કંપનીઝ છે, they make their services public through advertisements on the internet and in magazines. सबके सामने रखती है and publicly लोगों के सामने. That is an adverb. The need to protect the environment is being discussed publicly. पर्यावरण को बचाने की बात जो है वो लोगों के सामने हो रही है. It is being discussed publicly. And last is wild. Wild यानी जंगली, जो नेचर है, कुदरती है, that is wild. Many tourists enjoy photographing animals in the wild. जो जंगल में जो animals है उनको फोटो लेने का पसंद है. Wilderness, jungle. Many people enjoy spending time in the wilderness. Again, adjective is wild. यहाँ पे इसका meaning है जंगली. Some tours are organized to destinations where wild animals can be observed. And wildly, जंगली की तरह. Places such as Machu Picchu and the Galapagos Islands have become wildly popular ecotourism destinations. यानी बहुत पागलों की तरह बढ़ गया है. That is wildly. So now we are going to do word practice. We have fill in the blanks using the words. So you have to select the right one. Okay, so select the right answer. You have to tell me what form of word will come here. Ecotourism companies operate on the principle that dash of harm to environment is not only possible but an important part of pleasure trips. What? Avoidance or avoidable? Select the right one from first one. You have three options. कौन सा आएगा blank में? ये चीज जो है ना, ये अंडरस्टैंड करोगे तो आपको पता चलेगा कि मैच द हेडिंग जो बॉक्स में होता है, वेयर यू नो समरी कंप्लीशन फ्रॉम द वर्ड्स फ्रॉम द बॉक्स, तो यू रियलाइज कि इसमें कौन सा वर्ड आना चाहिए. वो ऐसे प्रिंसिपल पे ऑपरेट करते हैं. इको टूरिज्म कंपनीज ऐसे टूरिज्म प्रिंसिपल पे ऑपरेट करते हैं कि कोई प्रकार का पर्यावरण को नुकसान ना हो. सो प्रिंसिपल दैट डैश, सो आंसर इज अवॉइडेंस, राइट? Principle that avoidance of harm to the environment is not only possible, सिर्फ possible नहीं है, but important part of pleasure trips. The basic dash of ecotourism is to respect the place you visit. जो जगह पे जाते हो उसको respect करें in terms of both the culture and the natural environment.
Concept.
Yes, the basic concept of ये noun. Ecotourism companies offer a wide range of tours. बहुत सारे tours के options देती है. Some include stays in luxury hotels, बड़ी-बड़ी महंगी hotels के stays, whereas others take travelers to remote destinations. दूर-दूर destination पे ले जाते हैं, where only the simplest dash are available. रहने की बहुत simple accommodations, correct, right? यानी कुछ ऐसी जगह जहाँ पे simplest accommodations are available. On some trips, कुछ ट्रिप के ऊपर travelers learn about the dash plants and animals that live in the area. कैसे? जंगली.
Wild.
Correct. They learn about wild plants and animals that live in the area. On others, दूसरी trips पे they learn about the local tradition. On all trips, सारी trips पे travelers are careful not to cause any type of dash to the environment. पर्यावरण को क्या नहीं कर, cause any type of injury to the environment. When environmental harm is concerned, जब उसकी नुकसान की बात करें, they don't want to be among the culprits. तो वो गुनेगारों में वो लोग इकोटूरिस्ट बनना नहीं चाहते उसका हिस्सा. If you are interested in ecotourism, अगर आपको इसमें इंटरेस्ट है, it is easy to find out about the trips being offered. Ecotourism companies dash their trips in travel magazines and on travel websites. क्या करते हैं? Publicize. क्या करते हैं वो लोग? Publicize. It's a verb. यहाँ पे सब्जेक्ट दिया गया है. इको टूरिज्म कंपनीज करती क्या है? वो पब्लिसाइज करती है अपनी ट्रिप्स को. Okay, are you clear with all of them? So now volunteer के दो मीनिंग है. Volunteer का तीन मीनिंग है. Look at it. Noun है a person who offers to do work for no pay, a person who freely offers a service. जो सेवक होता है, सेवक को बोलते हैं volunteer. Verb है to work for no pay, freely offer to do something. सेवा करवी એને પણ volunteer કહેવાય. ને adjective છે done by volunteers, that is called voluntary. So now answer the question. Many environmental protection projects depend on volunteer work. What kind of work? A, B or C?
C.
Correct. They depend on volunteer. यानी वो सेवकों के ऊपर के काम के ऊपर डिपेंड करते हैं. The volunteer not only provides a service, सेवक सिर्फ सेवा नहीं करता है, but also has the opportunity to gain valuable experience. उससे खुद को बहुत सीखने को मिलता है. A, B or C? The person sevak is A. It is the person's answer is A. Many people volunteer to spend their vacation time helping out on environmental protection projects. Answer here is B. यानी वो volunteer यानी सेवा करते हैं free. And last we come to listening. Listen to the conversation and complete the form below. Write no more than one word for each answer. तो आपको आंसर देना है. यहाँ पे है excellent eco tours. So you have to listen and answer the questions from 1 to 4. Customer name Bob Henderson. Trip है dash adventure. Dates, type of dash campground, and how did customers hear about it? कैसे पता चला? Saw dash in the travel magazines. Answer the questions in your book.
Unit 6, Tourism. What is ecotourism? Listen to a customer talking to a tour company agent.
Good afternoon, excellent eco tours.
Hello. Yes, I have a vacation coming up, and I haven't taken a pleasure trip in a long time. I'm interested in ecotourism. Can you tell me about any trips you have coming up soon? My vacation is in January.
I'd be happy to help you. Let me just take down your information. What's your name, please?
Bob Henderson.
What kind of tour are you interested in? Our most popular tours are the Wilderness Adventure Tour and the Local Culture Tour.
Tell me more about the first one.
That's a nature tour. We take you to a remote area of the rainforest where you learn all about the local plants and animals.
It sounds interesting, but I'm a little wary of tours that feature wild animals.
Don't worry. You'll be in the hands of experts, and everything will be perfectly safe. Also, there will always be a barrier between you and the animals.
It sounds like an interesting trip.
It is. Shall I sign you up for the Wilderness Adventure Tour then?
Yes. What are the dates?
January 12th through the 25th.
That sounds perfect. I have a question about the accommodations. What are they like?
There are two types. You have a choice between a fairly basic hotel or camping at the campground.
Oh, I definitely prefer the campground.
Great. I'll put you down for that. Now, do you mind if I ask you something? How did you hear about our company? Did you see our publicity somewhere?
Yes, I saw it in a travel magazine.
Unit 6.
So what kind of trip is it?
Wilderness.
Wilderness.
So wilderness trip. What are the dates?
January.
January.
January. And what type of dash?
Accommodation.
Right. And where did you see the saw
Publicity.
publicity in a travel magazine? Cool. So that is the end of the vocab session. Right. We also have a task question here. Look at the speaking related questions here. When you travel, do you enjoy going to wilderness destinations or do you prefer visiting cities or some other kind of places? What kind of places do you avoid visiting when you travel? आप कौन सी जगह जाने का पसंद नहीं करते? What kinds of accommodation do you like? Is luxury important to you when choosing accommodation? Luxury आपके लिए जरूरी है? So that is the end of the vocab and reading class.